Okay. Hey YouTube. Hey, it's Crowned by Felicia. I'm so glad to see you guys. I'm excited to be on this channel on YouTube and have my channel. I'm excited for what God is doing. This is my very first video. It is also my journey to becoming a stylist, and I am just super excited for just this new place that I'm in. Anyway, I just wanted to welcome you to my channel and just talk a little bit about going to cosmetology school, as I do start tomorrow. That is my official start date, and I will be going to night school, and I will be doing that a few times out of the week, and I just have to really shift around my schedule, which is fine because this is something that I'm super passionate about. Story about my just getting to this place of finally deciding to go to cosmetology school and fulfilling my dream as a cosmetologist, as a stylist, depending on what I go into and I specialize in. On the side note, I'm gonna be posting all of my work on my Instagram, Crown Culture. That's Crowned, Kulture. Crown Culture is my Instagram name. And you can see all of my work there if you want to go and check it out. But so my first initial, just how I got to wanting to be a stylist or go to cosmetology. I thought about doing this years ago when I was probably 19 or so, and I really didn't pursue it because, to be very honest, I had a lot of stuff kind of going on within myself. Don't know if I really believed in myself at that point, and I think that kind of got in the way of a lot of things. I think that you got to really believe in yourself. I think you really have to really know that you can do all things, and not just because you think you could do it, but because it says it in God's word that you can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens you. But I think at that point in my life, I wasn't really on that, I just kind of didn't know exactly what to do with my life. I was just basically just kind of going through the motions of whatnot. And then, I had my daughter, so that was a little bit more kind of, I had more responsibilities that I had to take care of, that I couldn't just stop and just, go and do what I want to go do, and I think that's something that happens to a lot of us as mothers, that we stop our dreams and everything when we have our kids. A lot of times, most of us do, I know for me, I did, and so. And I'm not saying that my child's the reason or that I'm blaming it on, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I just had more responsibilities that I had to take care of that took priority over in my life. And so I kind of just went with that. But after a while, every now and then I would visit it, I would go back and visit, and just kind of look at the college or look at the cosmetology schools around, and, just kind of look around and stuff and just kind of be hopeful, but I never really pursued it. And it was funny because even my husband would always tell me, you should go, you should do this, you should do that. And I just kind of swept it to the side. But as time went by, I noticed that I've only become more passionate about, just all things beauty, especially hair, makeup, all that stuff. I really like it. And it just really calls my attention. And even now I'm just in awe of all the things that God is doing. And I'm just so encouraged by it. But I am just really in a place of just gratitude, of absolute gratitude. I think that having a attitude of gratitude is, maybe it sounds cliche the way I'm saying it. It really does make a difference, having gratitude in your life for everything, for your family, for your job, for just life itself, just everything, I think so many times we spend things that are not really unnecessary things, you know? And I'm just so grateful to be in this place. And maybe I've said that like 50 million times, but it's really because that's how I feel. I'm really encouraged by just everything that God is doing. So, but I typically would put a liner, and this is the NYX NYX Professional Makeup Epic Wear Waterproof. I don't really want, let me see if I can bring this into focus. Maybe not. Anyway, I don't really want to put this on right now because it's really hard to get off. And I just am doing my makeup for the sake of having a conversation with friends. You know what I'm saying? You know? Anyway, so I'm gonna skip this. I don't really want to put this on. So I've put on my Clinique foundation, and the good thing about this foundation is that it is buildable. It's buildable. Like, basically I can do just a little bit like I did and see it covered a lot, or I can add more and it be like, you know, full, you know, coverage. But I'm not looking for that because I'm not doing anything great, because I'm not going out nowhere, because I ain't got nothing to do, because I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I put that on. So now kind of back to my story of how I got to the point where I am now starting cosmetology school. So fast forward years went by, and now I was in regular college, and it's like, great. It was good, but I can really understand when they say that maybe college isn't for everybody. I was kind of thinking maybe that applied to me, because I don't know, I did well. I've done well in college, but I just feel like my heart is really what I'm about to start doing. And so fast forwarding through all of that, I just came to a place where I had to really understand that it's okay to go after my dreams and still have my family and still have, you know, everything else that I have, you know? Is it gonna be easy? Probably not. But when is anything ever that easy, you know? Like, there's always a ladder of success that you have to climb in everything that you do. And so I'm looking forward to the challenge, because I like a good challenge. I think I get bored really easy, and I think being in the field of beauty is really gonna keep me busy. So I'm just excited. Anyway, I have my lashes that I'm gonna go ahead and add. I kind of don't want to add them, and I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't, but for the sake of this video, I think I'm just gonna do it. But maybe I shouldn't, because I can't find my tweezers, and I need my handy dandy tweezers. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to. Bummer. Anyway, let me see if I can find it. Anyway, so about the school, or not about the school, but about just my starting, I will be posting videos. Now, I'm not gonna tell y'all I'm gonna post on Wednesday and then I don't post on Wednesday, and then yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, I would prefer I'm just gonna post, and then once I start getting in the habit of posting, then I can set a better date. But I'm just being honest of what I'm trying to do here. I really am just trying to be an educator, an motivator, an inspirer, an empowerer, you know, leveling up and, you know, just moving in grace and in purpose. I'm here for it all. I'm here for it all of it. So there they are. Okay, I found my tweezers. All right. Some of the changes like that come with when you're starting a new journey, like I was saying earlier about when you start a new journey, it may not look the way you think it should look. And that doesn't mean that it's not working. I think what happens is, I'm gonna speak for myself, is that I've been in circumstances and situations where I may have missed the blessing because I was focused on what I think it should look like. And when God gives something to you, you can miss it because you are focused on other things when it's right in front of your face. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's necessary to understand that despite, you know, whatever situation you may be in, whatever changes you're going through, whatever you're trying to do in life, you know, like I said, whether it be a business or it be whatever it may be, there is a change that comes that's necessary with that. But also keep your eyes open to the fact that don't miss the blessing of what God is doing in your life because you're focused on what you think it needs to look like, on being a perfectionist. I can be very honest and say that I'm a perfectionist. I like things a certain way. I like to do things a certain way. If it doesn't end up the way I want it to, you know, it used to be harder for me, but I have learned to not let those things affect me. But that took many years for me to get to that point. So I just want to remind you to remember to think about all the great things that, you know, that God is doing. And then don't focus so much on what it's supposed to look like. Don't focus so much on, you know, the end result, you know, try to be in the present moment. You know, that is in God's word, to be in the present moment. So however I can encourage, honey, I'm going to encourage, child. So however I can do that. And so just waiting on my eyelash, you know, and I'm only putting these on for y'all because I really don't wear them as much as I used to, but I'm gonna start wearing them because I love lashes. I love the way they look. You just really got to let it get tacky, because if you don't let it get tacky, it is just hard to put on. And I might have some issues putting it on while I'm on a camera. So I might have to go off camera and put it on and then come back on camera. You know, I might have to do that. It's okay. But anyway, I'm like just so ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so ready. Like, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and put these lashes on and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my lashes on, you know, and I really could have went with a shorter lash than this, but I was feeling dramatic at that moment. So it was like I went with the dramatic lash, but I mean, it's the only lashes I have right now. I need to get some more. So please don't cover me, please. Anyway, this is my, again, first video. I want to welcome you to my channel. Again, I'm going to be putting videos up, or not videos, but I'm sorry, not videos. I'm going to be putting up my work up on Instagram. Remember, it's Crown Culture. That's Crowned, and then it's Culture, Kulture. You will be able to see my work there. Remember, right now, you're probably not going to see nothing because I'm just not starting, but I would appreciate any support that I can get from you. Again, you can come to my channel. We'll be talking about beauty. We'll be talking about our faith. We'll be talking about God. We'll be talking about just every walk of life and just women and empowering one another and just being there for one another. So I am just ecstatic and excited for just all that, just all the great things, all the great things. That's almost the same color as my skin. Let's do this. Like that. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, we gonna do the other side. Okay, honey. Yes. Why did I just tap my chin? That don't make no sense. All right, so welcome to Crowned by Felicia. This is my first official video, y'all. So I am so excited to be on here. Finally, I got on YouTube. It's been a long time coming. In fact, in order to make this video, I just had to sit down and make it because I kept on putting it off and I kept thinking I need to do this and I need to do that. And I'm a perfectionist, if you can't tell, and it just got to a point where I had to just sit down and say, you know what, you're going to record the video and you're going to put it out there, and then the Lord's going to do with it with whatever he wants to do with it. Again, I'm on here, my people. I'm so glad to be a part of a place where you can really encourage and you can express yourself and just really be artistic and just everything. This channel basically is about faith, about beauty, about empowerment, women empowerment, and about encouragement. And we talk about all things beauty. We talk about life. We talk about our journeys. And so I'm on a couple journeys right now. But my very first journey is that I am starting cosmetology school, and I'm on my way to be a hairstylist or stylist, depending on whatever I specialize in. But I'm really excited to take you guys with me on my journey. And I hope that you are encouraged by seeing my story and seeing the things that I'm attempting and I'm going for with all my heart. You know, makeup and hair and beauty has always been something that I've been very passionate about, but I have put that off for so long because I just kind of felt like, you know, I had other priorities and other things that I wanted to fulfill and that I needed to really be there for first before I could really jump out and do what I wanted to do. I quickly realized during time that if I always focus on the next thing and I got to do this and I got to wait for this, then I'll never start. I'll never get started. And so I just put one foot in front of the other, and with the support of my husband and my children, it just really made sense for me to go ahead and start and to really fulfill my dreams. And, you know, I had a few, you know, a little bit of struggles that I kind of dealt with thinking about my start to this journey. And one of them was being that, you know, I didn't know if whether, you know, how this was going to shift my life, you know, but I think when you really want something, you'll go for it. You know, when you really want something, you'll do what it takes to get there, you know. And so that's something that, again, it can be a little scary, but it encouraged me more so to pursue my dreams, to pursue the things that I want to do. And that is my passion in styling, hairstyling and makeup and aesthetics, not aesthetics, but like being an esthetician and stuff like that. So, you know, I created this channel to document all of this journey that I'm going to be on, and to kind of look back and say, hey, you know, I came from here to here, you know. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not a person who really does a lot of that. But, you know, I said, hey, it's 25. Why not? You know, like, why not open up, and why not let your story and your life be a help to someone else? You know, one thing I noticed being on YouTube, looking up videos and stuff of cosmetology classes and people who are starting and stuff like that, is that I did see a lot of younger girls, which was cool. But I wanted to see something with someone who, you know, more mature or older. And so I hope that me putting this video out there will be something that is encouraging for someone who may be thinking that maybe because of their age, they can't do it, you know, or maybe because the circumstances of, you know, having bills and kids and this and that, but you can really make a way for yourself. You really can. And I really hope that my video encourages you to really take that leap of faith and really move into those things that you are purposed to do. And if you know that this is your purpose and this is what the Lord has for you, then I would say go for it, you know, and everything else is going to fall into place when it is in God's timing. That's another thing I had to really learn, that it wasn't in my own timing. So as much as I may think that, well, you know, I spent a lot of time on not pursuing this dream and now I'm here at this point, but that's not the case, because when it's God's timing, none of that other stuff matters. You know, this is at the point where he wants me at, and this is at the point where he wants you at. So I want you to be encouraged, and I hope that you do go for it. I hope that you do take that leap of faith, and that you don't let anything stop you, and that you're encouraged, and that you encourage others as you go along your pathway and your journey. My channel, once again, is going to be a safe place for those who come on, and I hope, again, that it's something that I may have said here tonight or this afternoon. I'm already talking about tonight. Something that I may have said may have encouraged you or uplifted you in some way. That's it for my video. I did want to insert some clips of my orientation the other day. I was really vibing and chilling. You know, I was just like, this has just been a long time coming. This is just something that it was just bound to happen. I have a heart of gratitude just for everything that I have, everything that God is doing, for everything that I've even been through, you know, and I am going to talk more about that. And I hope that, you know, even give me tips and pointers on some things that you may want to talk about. It could be something deep or it could be surface level. you know, we're definitely here to build one another up and to encourage one another. And so I'm going to go ahead and end my video. But again, I'm going to put clips up of when I was in the, or not the orientation. I went to the orientation, but I wasn't like I couldn't film in the class. But I'm going to go ahead and put those in because I was just super excited. And I just want to add them because I think it's cute. But anyway, y'all have yourselves a good afternoon, a good night. Take care of yourself. Remember that it's okay. It's okay. And it's all right to set up those boundaries. It's okay to listen. It's all good. So anyway, y'all have a good night. Y'all take care. Hey YouTube. Hello. This is my first video and I am so excited to be on here. So thank you so much for having me. Anyway, I am on my way to start beauty school. This is my journey and I'm documenting my time. And yeah.